Welcome back to In His Mind. So, there was a conversation that happened yesterday that I wanted to briefly cover that may be of interest to you. It is why it is so hard for some people to believe that there is a God, and why some people who struggle to believe in Him. In short, it is belief in God versus an attachment disorder. That's going to be the name of the video. So, in a shorter term of words that is more easily understandable, it's basically deism versus theism, and then the added aspect of attachment disorder. So, for those who have trust issues, this is extremely understandable and just easy to relate to for most people, just because of what they've been through and who was in their life that just messed with them or, messed them up. So, in short, let me go into deism and all that. Deism holds that a God must exist based on the evidence of reason and nature only, not on supernatural evidence or on the metaphysical, as some people like to say. Some deists believe that a God created the world but is indifferent to it. Theism holds, and this is where it differs, that there is only one God who is still actively engaged with the universe in some way, and all that is in it to a degree. And that may actually extend to any subjects that are under his command, such as angels, for example. So, let me see. What else? I'm not going to get into the technical terminology of deism itself, just want to briefly cover that part. Now, the attachment disorder part is interesting to note, just because some people, when they struggle with that, it leads them to believe that they may never truly be quote-unquote saved, like born-again believers. That, and this ties to a very interesting word. I'm going to get this wrong, I just know it. Pistis. I gotta look that up real quick. Give me a second. It's a word that I had never heard before that I look it up, so. Definition. Alright, looking this up right now. Pistis. Alright. In Greek mythology. Yeah, nope, not going about there. So the Greek word pistis means the personification of good faith, trust, and reliability. Good faith, trust, and reliability. And that is something that is not in the Bible, but it relates to this in the sense that if you believe that there is a God and that you hold fast to him, that is something that sets itself apart from those who struggle with an attachment disorder, as in not being able to connect to, or for those who have trust issues. Now, on the flip side, if you always have an issue with connecting and attaching, and the wrong people get into your life and mess with that, it's going to take longer to understand where that attachment issue lies. This is a tricky topic just because there's a lot of personal stuff that can get in the way of being able to believe and accept that there is a God out there. The trauma is going to be different for each person, and the triggers might be as well. But overall, we do share many of the same experiences. It's just that things will be a little bit different for each person. The death of a loved one, for example, will always happen a little bit differently. The traumatic events that we go through can also play a part of all this. Largely, as someone pointed out to me, the difference between how a lot of this happens can be defined in a professional setting versus a personal or a private setting, maybe even a casual setting. So, what we take from one scenario, we often apply to a different scenario, one that doesn't exactly fit. So, for example, if you get fired over at a job for a false allegation, and then you take out what happened, because of that one person, and then you apply it to everyone else within that same category or the same sex. If it was like a woman who lied about you and you lost your job for that, and you just apply that to all other women, keep in mind the setting does actually apply. I know this is a bit of a side topic, but I want to mention that real quick just because it does kind of fit in there real quick. But either way, pistis with the whole faith, trust, and reliability, it matters, and it helps with the whole attachment part and believing that there is a God. Now, the attachment disorder, it will last until it is fixed in some way, shape, or form, or you can find a way to bypass it. Generally, though, that lies with, having a coping mechanism in order to actually effectively deal with it. In many cases, it may be harder to just simply go through counseling just to permanently deal with it, because it costs time, it costs money, other resources, fuel costs, traveling to and from a therapist's office. If you're using something like Talkspace, that's completely cut out of the picture, which is awesome. And yes, I've used Talkspace before. I want to say that, well, this is a very interesting topic, and not everything I can talk about I can put up here just because there's quite a bit of personal information. But in general, the part about deism versus theism is a very interesting aspect that ties in with all of this. All right, until next time.